about fears. Let's talk about love. Yeah, I got fears, but I ain't got no love.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
The Reverend Dr. Carl Easterling
Is not available.
Who is the Reverend Carl Easterling, as you heard? Well, Carl Easterling is the owner at the time of Carlsbad Tavern, where Brenda Condon disappeared from. I was supposed to have a phone interview with him at 6 o'clock. And as you heard, he did not answer. So I left him a message, and I haven't heard from him yet. Although he did earlier send me some stuff via Facebook. Now, why is this important? Well, it seems that there is not much out there on the newspaper and media about Carl Easterling, and a lot of people point the finger at him in regards to this disappearance. In fact, a couple weeks ago, I had a current police officer reach out to me and point the finger at Carl. Now, Carl has an interesting background, and I have been researching that for the past couple of days. He was a graduate of Penn State. He ran for a president of some sort there, and he finished last. I read the article where he gave an interview about, about his thoughts on running for this presidency within the campus and stuff. And I could tell he was a jokester because his platform was entertainment. And he would answer every question with, well, because it's entertainment. Yes, that would be entertaining. And I could see he was kind of being a goof about it. Probably why he finished last, according to the article. But he did graduate from Penn State University in pre-law, law enforcement, and corrections. But again, I guess people will label him a suspect. I do not. Especially, when there is no motive that I see right now for a missing person. But I was excited to talk to Carl because I have a lot. I wrote down here, 23 questions that I wanted to ask him. And they're not questions as a suspect, but they are questions of procedural issues about the bar. I have a lot of questions about Brenda within that bar. Meaning, okay, former bartenders, tell me what the procedure is. Do you lock the door first, then go through the cash register? Where does that money go when you tally the receipts? When you take out the garbage, is it taken out every night or is it only taken out when it's full? How about the bottles? Do they go in a recycling bin? What door do you use? The front door, the back door? Things like that I need answers to. Now, Carl, from what I understand, gave a lot of these answers to police back then. But I don't have those reports and I don't have those answers in front of me, and that's what I need. Now, you guys have seen that I've done a number of videos, 4 videos, I think, in 1 week about the Brenda Condon case. So why am I back revisiting it? Because it needs it. Brenda was the first case that I was aware of that happened in my area back when I was in 11th grade. I know the bar, not when it was Carlsbad Tavern, but later it became Spectators, and I used to go there. Last week, Brenda's sister reached out to me and asked if I would do something for the anniversary. And you hate to call it that, but on February 26th, it'll be 33 years since Brenda Condon disappeared. And I never turned down a family member. That's just how it is. Sure, I'll do something. What? I did not know. But the more I thought about it, and I had some dialogue with Brenda's son a few months back, and I said, you know what? They deserve more. And hey, I don't do a lot of cases pro bono. It's not because I'm greedy. It's because I have a lot of other stuff going on which I get paid to put a roof over my head. Now, to do a video, that's different. You know, I can do a video for somebody's family. That's not an investigation. That's looking at the material that's there and kind of just, hey, this is what I see. This is an investigation. This is different. And when I talked to Brenda's son, I said, listen, I feel that I should be doing more. And I want to do more. And I will do this pro bono for you. And he said yes. And that was important because I wasn't going to do this and step on family members' toes. Other people's toes I don't care too much about. I try to be respectful to everybody. The police officers that are working the case, certainly pass things on to them, need be, yes. But if police tell me, hey, no, you can't do it, well, you know how that's going to work out. And if I got to step on toes, then I step on them. Certainly not intentional, but the family deserves this. Brenda deserves it. And I just decided, hey, get off your ass and go knock on doors. You know, when I do videos, I'm not interviewing suspects. I'm not interviewing witnesses. None of that. It's all from the confines of my home where I'm comfortable. Well, sometimes you got to become uncomfortable, and I got to get back into the game because I miss it. And this was the one to do it on. So, with that said, Carl Easterling is one of the top 3 individuals I want to talk to about all the bar stuff, all the procedural stuff, about Brenda. Remember, people see victims differently, see individuals differently. You talk to one person about me, they'll say he's the nicest guy in the world. I'll give you the shirt off his back. And somebody else will say, well, he's a mean SOB and he's cocky and he's arrogant. Both may be true, but depending on who you hear it from, it could lead somewhere in your investigation. So it's important to speak to these individuals. Again, 23 questions here I had for Carl. Carl seems like a character during my research with him. He seems to also know some of the people that I know. So that's important too. I want to know Carl's thoughts about things. You know, Carlsbad Tavern was not open for very long. It closed within like 6 months of this disappearance. You know, I think I know the reason why. I've researched that enough. But other people say, oh, it's because he's guilty and he ran to Florida. Well, you got to look more into things than just that. Okay? So because of that, I wanted to talk to Carl. I hope I can still get some information from Carl, and we can move on from Carl. But until I talk to Carl, I'm not moving off of anybody. that's just how my investigation. Do I believe Carl's involved in this? More than likely not. Everybody points fingers when they can't figure something out. Oh, it's the boyfriend. Well, how do you know that? Give me some evidence. Oh, he was a drug dealer. Doesn't mean he killed her, right? Doesn't mean drugs are involved at all. You got to come with more evidence. You can't accuse somebody just based off of that. Well, he was the bar owner, and he was shady. He should have known better. Listen, there's a lot of shady people in this world. They're not all murderers, okay? And you can't accuse people of that. So, till I find out, Carl is as innocent as can be in my book. So I definitely would like to talk to him. I'm going to be doing a series of these videos during every step of this investigation. There's a lot of people I want to talk to. I have a list of a lot of people that I want to talk to in this case. Old police officers, former patrons. From some text messages that I got from Carl or Facebook messages, I learned something that I didn't know. Sure, the police reports would know this, but the media didn't. And that was Brenda wasn't the only worker there that night. All these years, 33 years later, I learned something new that quickly. I need to know who those people were. I need to know who worked, maybe not that night, but who also worked for Carlsbad Tavern. Because I need to talk to them about procedural issues. So we're at the start of this, first base, but I hope to score by the end of it. And if not, like anything else, if you don't solve the case, that's okay. Maybe you open up a door that hasn't been opened before, okay? And you get this case closer to resolution for the family. Brenda's kids were, I believe, 10 and maybe 12 years old at the time. I could be wrong on that, but they might have been younger than that. They need resolution. Okay? So I have the platform, the experience, and the passion to do this. I got a tip about this case a couple weeks ago that Brenda's body was located in a certain area. And I wanted to know, well, where did you get this information? And she told me the name of the lady who had that information. Well, I asked who told her. Who was the guy who supposedly gave a deathbed confession? Well, she doesn't want to give that up. It's people like that don't help the case at all. You want to tell somebody that somebody told you in a deathbed confession, but yet you won't give up the information. And then when I keep trying to find out more, you just cut me off. Well, I'm just not going to respond to him anymore. Why? Because I dug a little deeper? You didn't expect that? And then you must not know me. Because I'm going to dig deeper. Okay? The police, I think they did an okay job initially. I think when the state police took over, they seemed to bump up this investigation a little bit. But people have to remember, she went missing on a Tuesday night, February 26, 1991. The boyfriend reported her missing when she didn't come home. But nothing was done, and police admit this in the newspaper articles, until Saturday when she didn't pick up her kids. Things picked up. Then again, they go into now Monday, Tuesday of the following week, and now they got search helicopters, and they got canines brought in, bloodhounds. You're about 9 days late. Okay? Hindsight's always 20/20. I get that, and I don't like bashing people for that. I wasn't there. But maybe we can do better this time. You know? So if you know any old police officers that worked on this case, I have some names, but I don't want to say them publicly because I don't need them harassed. But I know who they are, and I'm going to try to get in contact with them. former workers there for Carlsbad Tavern. Anybody that knows anything about the Brenda Condon case and you're too scared to call police for whatever reason, go to my website, kenmains.com, fill out the contact form, send me a message. I want to hear from you. Now, I don't want to hear about your theories, okay? And that's nothing against you. It's just I get a lot of those, and I don't have time to go through them. I want people that know Brenda or heard something in regards to her disappearance. I am going to meet with her son personally for the first time, and we're going to hash out some things, and I'm going to learn about victimology. But remember what's important. Kids, parents, they know one side of an individual, but it's important to know another side, okay? And that's where friends and former co-workers of Brenda is going to come to fruition. You know, that's who I need to speak with, and I'll document it. Well, if you want interviewed on camera, we'll interview you on camera. If you don't, well, respect that as well. But it's important to get to the bottom of this case, and I think it can be solved. I really do. I have some good leads. Wish I knew what the police knew back then. You know, give me the first 15 pages of the report. That's all I need to go on. But if I don't get those, maybe some of those old-time cops know some things and will share them with me. So if you do, let's get together. You know, give me a call, give me an email, and let's get some resolution for Brenda Condon. Okay? So with that said, hey, until the next episode of Unsolved No More, the Brenda Condon investigation, I'm gonna just tell you I'm gonna try my best. I'm not promising anything but my best. I'm trying to help this family and law enforcement get some resolution to the case. That's all. Hey, is this Carl?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Kenmains. How are you?